One of the traditional ways that people think of the Netherlands or Holland, the particular region, is the windmill. And there is a place, an amazing place, that's a UNESCO World Heritage Site called Kinderdijk that has 19 historic windmills from the 1700s and other time periods that are all still working windmills today. And that's what we're going to take a look at in this video is the amazing UNESCO World Heritage Site windmills of Kinderdijk. So, what is Kinderdijk? Well, Kinderdijk is a city and area that is in South Holland, 19 windmills. The Dutch ingenuity has a unique nature area of bogs and canals and means the child's dike. So, why did they build windmills here? Well, much of the Netherlands is actually below sea level. They have major issues with flooding. So, they build these water mills and windmills to pump the water out and also use it to grind flour, things like that. Why the people who run the windmills are called millers. Hey, sound familiar? Pursuing travel with the Millers means one of my ancestors was a miller and ran a windmill sometime in the past. So let's start taking a look at Kinderdijk itself. When you first walk in, you see this interesting crib that's floating in the water with a cat on it. You might ask, just like I did, what's the deal with the cat and the crib? We personally love cats, so interesting to us. Well, let's explore this legend. So, taking a look at this legend, St. Elizabeth flood in 1421, a mysterious cradle was floating in the flood, and a cat was there. The baby's name was Beatrix, was there stabilizing the crib so it didn't flip over. So they eventually rescued the baby and the cat, and this became an important legend and another reason why they like cats in the Netherlands. Hey, I like it too, so it sounds good to me. So we've been to Kinderdijk twice and have had some unique opportunities while there. You can see me there working on moving the blades and the top portion. It's 22 tons. There's a real life miller there you see in the plaid shirt that is helping guide me in the process. I didn't want to go too fast because didn't want to mess up the blades. Donna also got the opportunity to try it out herself, moving the huge structure. We got to do this on our second time because we got to visit two different windmills. All 1700s, like this one was 1740. As you can see, has a nice little museum next to it. This one is basically a basic structure, so you will actually see that in this particular structure there is no real living quarters. It's like it's been completely emptied of the living quarters because people live in all of the windmills. Even to this day, it's actually very sought after to be able to live in a windmill. In the old days, you can see that's actually a bed for a couple of people. They did not sleep fully horizontal, they slept sitting up. And you can see there the water wheel that actually drives the water portion. And you can see all of the original wooden machinery that is in there for grinding and for pumping as well. So that was the one that we most recently went to. So a few years back, we got to visit a different windmill. And this one was fully furnished, like a home, maybe in the 50s or so. So it's not new. We also got to ride out. A neat way of going out there to visit the windmills is by boat. And so we got to go into this other windmill that's different kind of construction, looks quite a bit different than the other ones, and went in there and saw, well, what would it look like if you actually had the living spaces? So you can see here an actual living room. You can see some of the mechanics inside, but in general, these would all be covered because people are living there. So you can see the the kitchen, not a huge space to live in, but well enough to go in and make a living in your own windmill, which is very, very unique. Today they have internet. That was what you're looking at is an older, once again, 1950s 60s windmill. So it's a really great opportunity to visit this UNESCO World Heritage Site and enjoy just the tranquil canals as you're going, looking out and being able to see the beautiful windmills that still use thatching, as you can see on some of them, as you can see on that particular one. So let's take a listen at how to work the windmill from a miller himself.
Ground sailor. And ground sailor means I can operate a windmill from the ground. Securing the windmill in the wind, I need a chain and a turning wheel. The head of the windmill, everything above that big yellow band, that's possible to move it 360 degrees around, and that weight is 22 tons. The head of the windmill stands on cast iron rolls. When we don't do that, the windmill is always blocked with two chains. That's for safety. When the wind changed from position, I unlock the chain over here. Step one. This is step 2. I climb on this platform because 22 tons is very heavy. Now you can see, when I stand on this platform, I can use my body weight. When you take a look to the head of the windmill, you see the upper construction is moving. You see? That's 22 tons.
It's a great learning experience hearing from a miller still wearing wooden clog shoes. There's also an electric pumping station there that's a museum that you can go visit as well, that I went in and saw all the motors and things like that. It's a historic pumping station now that's a museum. So Kinderdijk's a really wonderful place to go. I really recommend taking the boat ride because it adds to the ambiance versus walking it, which is possible. So once again, subscribe if you like this kind of content and contact us at ET Family Travel to book your Kinderdijk, our Dutch adventure.